Alright guys, now we're finally back in here, and I think we should actually be able to play the game. That is, of course, if the game actually shows up in the stream now. Let's see if we can try this again. Add game. Of course, another issue real quickly. Let's flip over to my face as I get this right. We're going to be playing some Age of Wushu today, and now no game. So it's a little bit frustrating. We had mic issues at first, and now the game's not showing up. We're playing some Age of Wushu, and hopefully, if I can actually get this working right, we should actually experience some pretty epic gameplay of the new PvP-centric Age of Wushu, you know, martial arts MMO. So I hope you guys are doing okay today. Let me see if I can actually get this working correctly here, so we actually can get some actual gameplay going, right? Alrighty, here, just give me 1 second. Let's see, I'm gonna flip back over here real quick. Let's see, does it show up now? I can make it show up by just going to screen region and there. This is pseudo for the moment. There we go. We'll work with this so we can actually let's bring my face back up there so you can actually see everything. I'm gonna go ahead and move my face. Yeah, that right there is fine. And let's see if I can actually pivot this up just a bit so you can see it better. We're working with the limitations here, guys. Alright, so that's good enough. We'll go ahead and work with that. You guys can see mostly everything. Can't see a little bit of the bottom bar, but it's not really anything other than bag icons, etc. Alright, so hopefully everything works out fine now. We can actually play the game and enjoy it. Like I said before, this is Age of Wushu. It's in currently in closed beta. It's going to end, the closed beta is going to end tomorrow in about a day. That guy is black. Like, not like black, but I mean, look, I think he's bugged out. Has he been charred? I don't know. But this guy's a beggar. But yeah, Age of Wushu, I'm in the Scholars class or school, I guess you could say. And they're kind of like a neutral school, so I can do both bad and good stuff, and it doesn't really hurt me or anything like that. And I deal with one sword, so as you can see, my guy here has one sword. Now, I've got a couple current quests that I'm working on that'll go ahead and I think this is really cool, this option here. Like, you summon your mount, and the mount comes up to you. You don't just, like, appear on your mount. So then once you actually get here, you can jump on your mount like this, and then you go ahead and click wherever you want to go. So we got to go collect some pearls from the clams. And if I hit 2, I have an eye on my action bar the ability to sprint. So let's go ahead and go down here. You say it's jumpy, there's like pixel failures on the screen. Is that from the stream, or are you just talking about the game? Because the stream looks fine to me. Maybe if you're having some issues in the stream watching it. But yeah, if the game itself, if you see anything weird or glitchy on the screen, it is beta, closed beta that is. So things are obviously subject to change and whatnot. This is a really confusing game to get used to or to actually understand. There's a lot about it that it just doesn't make sense when you first start playing it. And even now, like, it doesn't even tell you now where exactly you need to go to do certain things. It kind of gives you like a basic overview, so it teaches you how to get your first school of like martial arts, but it doesn't then go ahead and teach you really what to do after that. So it kind of gives you like options of, hey, you can go, you know, start working for your school, or you can go do other quests, etc. In this case, I went ahead and got all my school stuff, and then came back to the starting area, and there's a couple more quests I realized that I hadn't done. So if you guys haven't actually watched I'm getting ready for like a marriage or something like this. I'm helping somebody with a marriage. So you see me picking up like all these like little clams and oysters. It's all for various flowers and decorations and whatnot for the good old marriage ceremony, I guess you could say. You know, every hero has to do like a really menial task. It's all about, you know, finding your inner zen and all that stuff. So let's see if we can go ahead and complete this. I gotta go give it to Xiao Feng Yi. I hope I don't butcher these names as we play this. But, yeah, weird. I mean, it's kind of like EVE Online in that there's no levels or anything like that. It's all just you put your experience towards whatever you want to progress with. And there's still a lot to learn. I'm still learning a lot about the game itself. There's a lot of different aspects to it that it's just really hard to understand what to do in a certain circumstance. And there are bugs as well, which makes it a little bit glitchy at times. So let's go ahead and complete this task here. And you see there it gives me some win, which I guess is the currency, and it gives me some blood vibing, which I think is used for making food and that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and grab these quests as well. Let's see here. See, this is all about the wedding just around the corner, so I can grab that. I mean, I do like the fact that I can just like click something and it automatically just takes me to the pathfinding option. What is a little weird is that you just saw there, this person I think I just talked to and completed a quest, and instead of like showing me immediately the new quest to do, it like made me talk to her again. So I got out of the menu and then went back and talked to her. So that's a little weird. But I do like the fact that I can just click on something and immediately it takes me to it. So apparently there's from the drawer, get what the groom wanted. Okay, apparently the drawer is on the ground. Alright. So I do like the fact that I can't do it on the horse. Alright. Some things you can't actually do on the horse, like talk to people, which is nice to be able to talk to them on mounts and stuff like that. It doesn't dismount you. So why can't you just get it yourself? I don't understand. The drawer is like right there. Such a lazy bum. I also like this. Like, it's all Assassin's Creed style, where if I run into people, you actually push them out of the way, which is pretty cool. It makes it like a lot more believable, and people will remark like, "Why are you pushing me?" and stuff like that. Yeah. So the game is skill based. Let's go ahead and complete that task. And as you can see up here, I'll show you my internal cultivation is working on one of my skills. So that always progresses. You're always working towards like furthering a skill or something like that. Even if you're not leveling up directly, which is pretty cool. I've gone ahead and leveled up these quests are just kind of like, you just have to talk to one another, like you're like some kind of like mediator between the two of these people. I don't really understand how that works, but let's come over here. Is this something I can do? What is this guy? Let me think about it. I don't know what that is. Alright, so go ahead and complete those, and it looks like all I got left right now is a fight for intelligence. This is something that you just ongoing. It's basically like spying on other clans, trying to PvP other people, or stealing books of intelligence, and that stuff all contributes towards learning like a rival school's stuff, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and jump on my horse yet again here, my trusty horse. And alright, yeah, so the majority of my skills, that's a little bugged out right there. The majority of my skills, if I bring them up here, which is this K, so you got my basic martial arts moves, my bare hand moves, which is what you got before the weapons, and in this case, my single-handed sword set, this is from the scholar set, which I had to get like an art, or I had to get a chess kind of like sub-profession in order to actually be eligible. So not as many people are actually doing this school because it requires a little bit more to get into, which is pretty cool. So you mentioned, you had talked about schools. What kind of schools are there? So there's schools for all different types of weapons. So you have like, throwing weapons, you have ranged weapons, double swords, single swords like this, staffs, that kind of stuff. But then you have the other aspect of it, which is like their affiliation. So there's some, you can break it down into essentially 3 classes or 3 subsets of factions. So you have, each school can technically be their own faction, but you have basically a third of the faction being good, so they're a good faction, they only do good deeds, and if you do any bad deeds, you're kind of penalized for it. And then you have my faction, along with a couple other ones, I believe, that's just a profession right there, which actually are neutral, so you can go back both good or bad. It doesn't penalize you. It's just, if you do both of them, you kind of remain neutral, but you can kind of flirt with both sides and kind of combine abilities from both good and bad sets. So you get that benefit, and then if you're bad, you get access to all the bad sets of things, and you do things like stealing people and selling them into prostitution and slavery. I think one time when I logged back in on my guy, I logged back in and I immediately was like sold into prostitution or slavery somewhere, and I couldn't actually get out of there for like an hour or something like that. I had to, like, if I was to log back out and log back in, I think it would have taken me back in there, which is kind of funny. Alright, so got that over there. I can just click and head and go over there. So go to Brockenrat the Fugitive. Alright, so there's a fugitive I have to go to, as well as the Exalted Criminals. So I'm just looking at my tasks right here. This is a little bit weird that like gets right in your way, so you actually have a hard time seeing it. So there's some greedy thugs I have to go ahead and do. So I'm going to go ahead and run over to the greedy thug here. The pathfinding is really nice. It certainly isn't the best pathfinding in the world. It oftentimes takes a long route, like Magic Man said. Or it, wow, this just looks so beautiful. I mean, look at that. The textures themselves aren't that good, but like the environment, lighting, and everything like that, and of course the music are amazing. So let's go ahead and just run over here. And yeah, this game runs great. I mean, I'm playing it in 1920 by 1080 with everything maxed out. And yeah, the world's always going, even if you're out offline, and your character is always interacting with the world in some way. They kind of just like start performing jobs on their own and stuff. So you'll actually log off somewhere, and then you'll log back on, and your character will be in a different spot because he progressed in that area and walked around and did tasks or whatever. And he like when you logged in, he was wherever he was in the world, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we gotta kill some greedy thugs, looks like. Yeah, so the combat itself, I mean, some people have remarked that the combat's a little bit weird. And it is, you know, in some ways hotkey based. I mean, obviously you have your skills, but there's a lot more control in terms of what you can actually do and your flexibility, because there's also some aerial combat elements as well. So I gotta collect some essence spices. And what else do I got? I completed that task. Let's see. Let's bring up my task menu. I think the task could be a little bit tracked a little bit better. It's oftentimes a little bit hard to figure out exactly where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do. I mean, some of them are pretty easy because it just says, "Hey, go over this person," or "Go over this person," and you're like, "All right, whatever." And then some of them are kind of like, "Hey, you need to go do this," but you're like, "How exactly do I go about doing that?" Especially the things that are like school-based, like. For example, if you're gonna go steal someone or do anything for your school, like protected versus spies, it gives you like another action bar, which I'll show you in a little bit. It gives you another action bar with its own specific abilities you have to use in that case. And sometimes it is all based around kind of like PvP action, so you interact with other players. And a lot of times either the players aren't around, or you just don't quite understand how to get it to work, or what, like, sometimes there's like penalties if you do it wrong, so you know you have less of a chance to do it correctly after if you do it wrong, that kind of stuff. So it's really kind of confusing to do. I think it's pretty funny that like sometimes these characters will actually run after you when you run by them, so if they have anything to say to you, they'll kind of run after you and talk next to you, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and complete that task there. Got that. So if I look up here, it's going to tell me about an hour and 17 minutes before this ability is done. And if I pull up all my abilities themselves, specifically the ones I've been working on, maybe go and pull up my skill. You look at these are all pretty much level 2. The only one left is level 1, which is this one, which I'm progressing to. Level 2 to level 3 is a lot higher, but thankfully the skills themselves only have like 5 levels per skill. Which is pretty cool, because you don't have to spend like forever working on one skill. This though, your actual HP level has up to I think 35 levels to work with, so quite a lot more. All right, so let's go ahead and do this quest, which is over here, and then let's see if we can actually get into kind of like a school quest afterwards. So we'll go ahead and run down here and see if we can start that quest. For some reason I can't autopath over here, although I think I can autopath. Yeah, I can autopath right before it. I don't think I can autopath once I actually go inside. So go ahead and get that, and yeah, it should be good. Let's go ahead and I want to zoom out a little bit, make sure I'm going the right way. I think I am. Yeah, so it's up in the mountain. Alright, so while I'm doing that, I can go ahead and talk to you guys. Let's see here. So you got yourself a key. Ah, so look at Magic Man just giving people out keys and whatnot. How nice and thankful of him. Alright, so here you can say that people were kind of like running up to me, trying to talk to me and stuff like that. The water in this game looks amazing. I mean, if you look at that water, I'm like, whoa. That is some pretty impressive water with some nice reflections. Nice quality water right there. Can you queue learning skills? Not necessarily. You can queue it in the sense that, like right now, this is queued up, and I'm progressively learning this while I do other things. But you can't queue one to do afterwards. So it does keep you kind of like you have to log in order to switch out them. But if you stay with one, like let's say you have a bunch of cultivation points saved up, and you stay with one skill, it will level that skill up to level 2 or whatever, and then start working towards level 3 on that skill. So it's not like it's wasted time. It does, it does in fact allow you to. That looks really weird, glitching out. I think that's a glitched out texture. So it does continuously level up that particular skill. It doesn't allow you to switch skills, which is a little bit unfortunate. Also, I don't know for sure exactly. What are you? Do you have a quest for me? Can I pick this up? What is this? The Legend of Silver Tea. Alright, what is there? Just gotta go through it for now. They have a lot of text. Some of the text is actually fairly funny to read, because I've actually met some of the writers who translated this into English, and they're a pretty funny bunch to listen to. And so a lot of the text in here is pretty funny, and a lot of the people who like emote, so you like running past them on the mount or anything like that, will say funny things like, "Why are you running me over?" and whatnot. So they got a quest back here I should go to. Gotta go kill some fugitive criminals. I mean, the quests themselves aren't anything like spectacular. A lot of the quests are PvP centered, and you get a lot of experience for that. But the normal PvE ones are just kind of like, you know, kill these criminals, kill that criminal, etc. So in this case, I think I gotta kill 10 of these guys. And I believe this is a daily quest, so this is like available every day. So let's go ahead and just kill this guy. Now I'm still, like, these guys are probably really easy for me to kill because I have been kind of leveling up, and this is kind of closer to the starting zone. So I mean, I could just do this, which is my AoE skill, and just stand right in the middle of them and do like tons of damage and kill everybody. Alright, so let's come over here. I've got to kill 7 more of these guys. So right click, of course, is blocked, but when you're fighting PvE characters, you really don't have to do that at all. Like, there's no real worries about dying to these guys unless you just have so many guys. So I just end up like AoEing, just like running away at you. This guy over here. So I'll show you some of my other skills that I have. So I got some AoE. I got a couple skills that do more damage the more I attack with a certain skill. Like my one skill I have right here is kind of like it'd be like my auto attack skill, although it's not true auto attack. And what it does is the more I use it, I eventually reach a cap where it'll do bonus damage essentially. So I think after just a few times, you'll see like a little emote come up here, and it'll basically say like your next attack will do a certain amount of extra damage or something. So let's go ahead. I can show you my cool fancy skill, which is my rage skill. However, I think I just ran out of it, so I couldn't use it right there. So you can also use skills if you're out of range, so you do have to make sure that you're in range to actually use it in order that you don't waste the cooldown. And some of the cooldowns and some of your better abilities are quite high. Now my third ability, I believe, is a charge. So I actually will charge towards the enemy here and attack them. But that skill is a little bit confusing because I think you're supposed to be able to do more attacks, but you, I can't seem to get the actual one to work more than 2. Go ahead and kill that guy. Now, my little energy bar here is ran out, so I can't actually use any more of my internal skills. See if I can meditate to go ahead and get my internal energy force back. Go ahead and continue on. Let's go ahead. What are the weapons like? They're all like, you know, your traditional martial arts style weapons. I mean, there's one school that uses their bare fists. There's another school that, obviously like mine, uses a singular sword. I think I have a couple extra weapons that I found in my backpack. So for example, here you have this kind of like daggers. So you got some daggers to work with. There's also these twin blades, double knives is what it's called. There's quite a lot of them. I don't know all of them, but so let's see here, what else do I got here? I got some stuff that affects my HP, etc. I don't know all of them, but it's like a variety of everything you would expect from like a martial arts game. Nunchucks, not really sure. It'd be really cool if they had nunchucks, but I don't know off the top of my head if they indeed actually allow players to get that weapon. That would be pretty awesome though. So I'm just gonna use my AoE skill to kill these guys real quick, and then we can go ahead and run out of here and go back to town. Awesome, so I'm modded now, so that is great. Don't have to worry about that anymore. What is with my MMOBomb logo being like so far down? There we go. Let's go ahead and move that back up there. It was like halfway shown on the screen for some reason. Alright, so go ahead and run out of here. The guys don't really seem to automatically aggro onto you unless you get really close or like try to engage them. So it's kind of interesting. Like, you don't, at least in this area, you don't have to worry about them like super aggroing and dying really easy. In fact, I've never died to anything PvE related. I've died to players a ton, and I'm still not really quite sure how to win a PvP match. But yeah, it's kind of funny. But you notice right here, like it's auto pathfinding, and like the road's right here, but he decides to go off here to the left and then come back over to the right, and then go to the right and then go forwards. So that could be a little bit better. Is there any magic in the game? I mean, there's magic in the sense that, I mean, would you consider this magic? Here, I'll show you. So, I mean, would you consider doing that magic? If you consider that magic, then yeah, there's that. And the skills, some of the skills do like crazy things where like they spin. I mean, like my spin skill, no knife actually has a little AoE of that. No sword has an AoE of that large. So it's a little bit like fantastical in the sense that, you know, you can do larger than life things, but I don't really call that magic. So let's go ahead and go down here. I mean, it's certainly more realistic than a lot of fantasy games, but it's also magical as well. So it's kind of like just a combination. Yeah, but I mean, they're not even really spells. Like they're called like new moves. You know, essentially you learn them, and they're really tied into kind of like the story where you're trying to become and train to be a better fighter. And so it's kind of like you learn them from your master, your sensei, essentially. And so I mean, spell just sounds so generic, you know, like any MMO, but they're definitely more like fighting techniques. So it's kind of interesting like that. Like I wouldn't, spell is a little bit selling it short, I'd have to say. Let's come ahead and come back over here. God, this water looks amazing. Too bad though. I mean, if you look at this, go jump in the water. There we go. Water, in fact, does not ripple around the character. That's too bad. Another little weird thing is like when you get to ledges, you know, you normally in MMOs you just like run off a ledge. In Age of Wushu, in order to run off a ledge, oh, 2 more quests. Let me go ahead and pick these guys up here. In Age of Wushu, in order to run off a ledge, you have to jump over it. You can't actually just go that. So go turn this in first. There. So I'll show you what I mean. But basically, like it stops you on a ledge. Like there's an invisible wall, and then you have to jump over that wall. So it's a little weird. All right, so let's come back up here real quick and go and turn this quest in, and then I'll queue up for a. So I'll show you. So this is the daily events and the novice tasks. So the daily events are kind of events that everybody can participate in. And so in this one's like a school patrol, school spy. There's a championship, which is like a PvP thing. There's escort missions, that kind of stuff. But they're at certain times of the day. So what that means is they only happen at certain times, which means everybody kind of involves themselves when it does actually occur. And I think that's pretty cool because it makes it less like a just like a what would you call it, like a dynamic event, because it only occurs like say once or twice a day. So you only get a certain time of the day to actually try that event, and then it will change for the next day. So I mean, the events themselves aren't, you know, exactly crazy or anything. Like this is a school patrol, this is a school spy, which I basically go ahead and spy on people. So I can go ahead and learn this. So with this, basically, you can see you must get rid of the new player protection to be able to join. Okay, you must be in this target school area. You cannot detect your own school. So it's just telling you things, activities. So basically, if you're randomly sent to the rally point and get 3 detection skills, you can perform those offline disciplines or escape detection from trolling. So I'll go ahead and join this to show you guys exactly what this is like. This place has no value to spies. Take a chance in the territory of invaders. Oh yeah, so I have to actually go to my school first before I can do it. So let's go ahead and jump to my school. So you see school teleport points, Scholars Arbor Hall, which is where Scholars is the school. So I can confirm that, and it'll start teleporting me to it. Yeah, there's bounty hunting. You can set bounties on people's heads, so you can pay it, and if somebody goes out and finds you when you're offline, they can go ahead and collect that bounty. There are guilds in the game. What's really cool is it's kind of like 2 forms of guilds. So you have like your school guild, which is this right here. You can actually see the school is basically everybody within your own school gets to talk to each other in its own private channel. And these people are pretty active, so they'll talk about doing things like, you know, like the school trainings, like the group training sessions we can do with a lot of people. They'll talk about doing any of the events together and stuff like that. And then of course you have the more intimate guild, which is your own guild that you form or join, which is pretty cool. So I'll go to show you here. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Alright, so you're supposed to be able to run up this wall, but I don't know if that wall. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'll just come over here. That ledge is giving me issues. So come in here. Run over this way. Sheath my weapon. Is there a day cycle? Not that I've seen. Everything pretty much occurs around the same day, and there may be like nighttime, etc. For different zones. I haven't really progressed out of the first 2 starting zones, and that's because I don't really know where to go after that point. But here's the ledge thing I was talking about. So as you can see, I'm kind of stuck on this ledge, and the only way to get off this ledge is to actually jump over the ledge and fall down, which is a little bit weird. It's kind of weird to have like these small invisible walls. You can't own slaves, however, you can sell people, you can kidnap people, and then sell them into prostitution or sell them as a slave, which is pretty cool. Alright, so now that I'm in this school here, I should be able to do the school event, which, let's go ahead and do the school spy here. So join that. Unable to spy on your own school. So I have to be in the enemy school area in order to actually perform that. Let's see here. So these are the school spy, school patrol, steal school scripts, school protection, school war. And this shows the combat. So like for a school war is like one school versus each other, school meeting. These are all things that give you additional points and give you a lot of experience. And they're definitely things you should do if you're playing the game, because it really does boost your cultivation and all that stuff at the same time. So school patrol is something I can do. I can show you what school patrol is like because I can do it now. Now that I've started here, I have this thing over my head. And what school patrol is, I'm in my own school here. So what I do is I go around looking for people of the enemy schools or just different schools, which allow me to spy on them and see whether or not they're trying to do anything tricky, etc. So this person right here, I believe, is from our school. Yes, we can't actually do anything. But you can actually put these little markers over their heads, which allow you to basically make them suspicious of people, even if they're offline. There's like a morale system. Certain characters, for example, have like their opinions of you. So if you do things in front of them, they'll either get more happy that you're doing them, or they'll get less happy. So if you like steal stuff from people or steal people and stuff like that, they could potentially have a more negative outlook on you, and maybe even to the point where they start attacking you or something. And then you see like these things up here, which talk about, see if this character is this character anything? Nope. Maybe this character is actually from a different school. Alright, let's come over to you real quick. Come here. Too far from target. Come here. This guy's like running away. What about this guy? Choose a player from another sect. See, this is one problem with doing certain school quests, is like there may not be anybody from opposing schools in your area. Yeah, so this player's just another sect again. So I mean, like I'm kind of like can't really do anything. Let's go ahead and come over here real quick. I can use control to kind of. I mean, look at that blur. Look at that motion blur. So much motion blur just like running around like that. Stop talking to girls. It's not nice. What? This is girl character. Alright, here. So let's see if I can find any other tasks to do. There's a wanted notice. So you can issue warrants for any players, which is pretty cool. Novice tasks here. Let's go ahead and do just school spying. I want to join that. How do I get out of this activity I'm currently doing? I don't want to patrol anymore. Maybe if I go back to the daily event and spy, or rather patrol rather. Yeah, there we go. So you do have to leave the event once you've started before you can actually join something else. The task of patrolling is unsuccessful. You can accept this task again. All right. So let's go ahead. I'll show like the school spy thing real here. Yeah, I have to go to the other school in order to do that. All right. Let's go ahead and look where I would have to go. All right. So this is my school. And I believe in order to go to a different school, I need to go to there, which is the actual stagecoach. So let's go down in the stagecoach, which is kind of like this, like, flight point or something like that. And then you can go ahead and go to a different area. And one little bad thing is, like, while I'm actually in the school area, I can't use my mount. So I have to wait till I get outside of the school before I can mount up and run faster. Right now I'm actually pretty slow, which is a little bit disappointing. Let's go ahead and look at the questions a little bit here. How would they form you on the person you're hunting for bounty hunting? I'm actually not really sure. I haven't actually done it yet. There's a lot of like little things that you can sign up to do. I mean, you saw the list. If I bring the list up again, there's so many daily events for you to participate in. School guard, school surprise, all that stuff. And you know, you can find out about the detailed information by clicking on it and actually reading about it. They all have like their own special rules, and they all have their own special requirements. Like for example, to do this, you have to buy a torch. In Surprise Attack Administration, you need to join a guild. I mean, there are specific things that actually require guilds to do, or certain times of day, or certain items. So you do have to actually take those into account before you actually do them. But there are, like, of course, the normal quests you can do as well. Hey, there's some quests in here I can actually do. Let's see here. This is just talking, I guess. Whoa! Apparently I'm doing something. Alright. So, I thought I was just talking to this guy and then running through it, but apparently I am on a quest. Let's see, I've been a mole in the Royal Guard for years. You can get tokens of information from me, so... Alright, so now we're going to head and show you this quest. Alright, so this is one of the quests where basically you have to spy on the Royal Guard, essentially. So you get 3 skills here. So right here lets you kind of pickpocket from them. This one allows you to knock them out. And this one allows you to kind of divert attention from yourself. So we have to get 10 Royal Guard intelligences. I believe we have to go up here to do that. So these are just beggars. I don't believe I can actually use some beggars. Yeah, so it's got to be on a player target. So player targets, let's go ahead and just run up this way. There we go. So player targets can be either offline targets or online, I believe. And you just go up to them, they'll be like patrolling, you're just walking around, and you steal intelligence from them. If you do it in front of guards, then this detection value increases, and the higher the detection value increases, the more likely it is that you get increased. So it becomes harder and harder to get gear, or get these items. And if it gets up to 100, you become frozen in place, I believe, for a few seconds, which basically means you get screwed over, unless you're able to wait it out and nobody comes in that time. Alright, so let's go and come in here. Let's see if I can actually get on my mount. Can I get on my mount? I can. Awesome. So I don't have to walk. Go ahead and pull my mount. Let's go and walk in there. So yeah, if I pull this up here, let's go ahead and pathfind that. There we go. Alright. This versus SWTOR, they're honestly 2 very different games. But I would find this way more fun. And plus, EA has so many restrictions on SWTOR right now. It's not even funny. I haven't seen any major restrictions at all in this versus someone who paid. Though I do believe that free-to-play, or right now in the beta, everybody's given like the upgraded account, which gives them like bonus experience gain and that kind of stuff. So, not really sure how much your experience will change outside of that. So let's go ahead. Go ahead and come up here. If one thing, it's like there is quite the travel time in between places. I mean, they give you a little bit of help, you know, with the control points, and it actually phases you to areas like this, so you don't have to travel by foot all the time. But I mean, even once you get there, I mean, this is like so far just to get up here. And some people won't mind that. And other people will find it like tedious. Like, I don't mind roaming around to get in like new areas to work in and do stuff, but I guess when you're focused on completely going into other schools all the time, stuff like that, having to roam around all the time may get a little bit tedious overall. Yeah, there are ranged weapons in the game. There's like throwing daggers. I think there's also a couple other things that you can get. But I do know throwing daggers is one of the specific ones you can use. So here's the Royal Guard. So we have to go in here, find players, and then pickpocket from them, like this guy. So if I come to him, let's go. Alright, so only use to offline second intelligence or offline patrol discipline. So they have to be offline for you to use them. I think maybe you can use it on NPCs. We'll find out, because there's a patrol guy coming through here. So if I come up to this guy, what happens? Can I actually do it? Let's come in here. Nope. It's got to be a player. So it has to be a player target. Alright. So it is a PvP-focused quest. Go ahead and see if we can find. I mean, the architecture though is amazing. The game looks great. There are things that don't look so great in the game, like some of the textures look a little muted, and the character can look a little bit rigid, and then the combat can be a little bit rigid at times. But there's just so much depth to it that I can definitely see people just, you know, forgetting about that, and not worrying about that at all, and it not being a big deal to people. Let's go ahead and come up here. So there should be some players up here. Now, while I'm here, I mean, I can do quests while I'm in here. So I can come up to this guy and be like, I wanted to do a quest. And so he'll give me the quest, and then I can actually do that. So there's an East Chamber Thief in here. So the school doesn't outright hate you to begin with because I'm a neutral school. I'm pretty sure if I am a good school, like a noble school, and I came here, because I believe the Royal Guards are a bad school, if I came here, they'd automatically start attacking me. But because I'm neutral and I haven't really aligned myself, right now I'm just able to go wherever nilly-willy I want. But of course, because I'm trying to steal from these guys, it would be bad if I got caught. But in the meantime, I can, I believe, just do quests while I'm in here. Right, so let's just go ahead and look around here, see if we can find anybody else. If not, we can just go ahead and do this other quest. I mean, this is the one problem that I find, and this may just be because let's see if this guy is offline. Angela Baby. Alright, let's see. Can I steal from you? See, it's gotta use an offline. I mean, this is one thing. I didn't have a problem with this the first time I did it. But there are times where, I mean, like, there's no one here. So how do you do a quest when there's no one there, you know? And granted, it is, of course, just a PvP style quest where you go in there and you try not to get caught, and you try to, you know, complete the objectives. But when there's nobody from the other faction around, then you can essentially, you know, if you're planning on doing that when you came online and no one's around, then it's a little bit wasted time. And that's why they give you the option to do it from, like, multiple schools, essentially. You know, you can do these kind of quests with almost anyone. You know, you can do that. There's the Beggar Sect. There's the Wanderer's Valley, there's Wudang, there's Shaolin. So there's different ones that you can actually do. You don't have to do just one school if in the case of that school not having anybody inside of it. Let's go ahead and go down here and do this quest. Does it have a tab targeting system? Not really. It's pretty much just, it is a seamless world, yes. There is some instancing that happens. It's usually, I believe, when you're doing like some of the PvP style of quests, and they're supposed to be in like a zone. I believe it does instance that zone, but pretty much when you log into the game, it actually has you every time reaffirm that, hey, you know, this is a PvP-oriented MMO, and you're most likely going to PvP people at all times. So there are things like that to consider. Now, this is supposed to be here. Alright, so I'm supposed to East Chamber Thief. Alright, there's the thief. Alright. Didn't know where he was. Alright, so we'll go ahead and kill this guy here. Now, these guys actually do require a little bit more finesse to kill because they're a little bit higher levels. You can see he's actually dodging some of the skills. But that's alright. I'll just use my really overpowered AoE ability and just kill all of them. So I'm pretty sure I killed that guy, but he may have not been the only thief. Yeah, there's another thief. So that guy didn't drop what I need, so I need to come over to this guy over here. I can do that by just hitting my skill really quickly. Do some of my cool abilities. Now, I believe that actually does slow down individuals. Look at that. This guy can parry attacks. But yeah, I mean, the combat itself, at least in at least this level right now. Oh, that guy just like got thrown back by my skill there. At least in this level, I mean, I really hesitant to say level because I don't know if this is supposed to be like starting level stuff or not. I mean, it's kind of this what I've progressed into as I've constantly gone to try to find things to do. I'm doing this area here, and it is a little bit more challenging. They take a little more damage, but overall the PvE for me has been very simple. But you don't play Age of Wushu for the PvP. I mean PvE rather. Of course you play it for the PvP. You play it for the PvP because that's really where all the depth is. there's certainly some PvE to do, and I think there's also like some PvE group missions to do. But the main draw of this game to players is probably going to be the PvP aspect. And just like in EVE Online, the main draw of that game to players is the PvP aspect of EVE Online. You know, going out and nullsec and trying to kill people. So things like that to consider. Let's go ahead and come up here. I think it's pretty funny when I go up these stairs on my horse. It's like da, 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 da. He just kind of like jitters around as he goes up there. It's pretty funny. Alright, so go ahead and complete this task. Go ahead and give this guy back to him, and I can hit my sprint key in order to go faster. Alright. I really want to do a PvP video for you guys so I actually can show some of the PvP, but right now I'm having such a hard time just understanding how frequently I can do PvP and where exactly I can do PvP other than queuing up for something or doing like one of these missions and encountering players there. So go ahead and complete that task. Anything in here? No one in here. So this is the commanding officer for Royal Guard. Can I talk to him? Nope, cannot. So I went ahead and did that quest there. So there are certain quests you can do. I think it does influence your favor with that, with the Royal Guard a little bit. So as you can see here, anybody that's offline is going to be marked in like light blue. So you kind of just go around here looking for players in light blue to talk to and gain stuff from. Alright. Oh, looks like this is a quest. In the barracks, military orders must be obeyed. This one, what question is it? I, an old man, know the art of war. I ask you to guess one sentence of the art of war from that. Even the wise are not free from error. I don't know. I'm really bad at these. I guess there was supposed to be something that I could see. But Mark of the Desolate is the end one, so we can go ahead and, through trial and error, find out which one it is. Alright. And I know some people are like, well, can't you just like go offline all the time and just perpetually, you know, level your skills? And you can't really do that because you have to actively do stuff in game in order to gain the experience points, which can then be converted into cultivation points to improve this stuff. So if you're offline for a certain amount of time, you run out of cultivation points, you can't do anything more. And you can't level up anything more. That place is pretty far. Alright, so that place is right down there. Sorry, I mentioned earlier that it was open world, and it is to an extent. Like, this is all open world, but I should have mentioned that going from, say, this zone to the other zone over here does go through some sort of instancing. So you do actually run through a portal, but it doesn't really look like a portal. You just kind of have this, like, seamless cut thing. And then you end up in the other zone. Let's go ahead and go back down there. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate. Can't do anything with the Royal Guards. Not really sure why. Nobody around here, I guess. So let's see if we can leave this. Let's go ahead and take me out of the zone. And we can try something else here. I don't think all of this is exactly finalized. You see like a lot of the text isn't... A lot of the text isn't finished yet. The text actual... formatting is off, and so a lot of things are hard to read. And I think some of the explanations could be better for certain skills. So there are certain skills that makes it a little bit difficult to understand exactly what they do right now. But the game is in beta. Alright. So let's see if we can go ahead and find us a different task here. Players who are no longer under knowledge protection. Let's see, this is, I think, maybe an assassination. Let's see here, third place. Let's see. This is some sort of ranking system. Let's see. Forbidden. Try to find something for us to do. Spying championship. So you can set up those as well. I don't want a school. Alright. Let's go ahead and teleport back to my scholar area here. Let's see what's in this area again. So it has this like seamless cut, and then a slight load, and then you're back. Everybody is. This guy has all kinds of armor. Look at him. Butt saber. Look at him. He's got the sabers to save us. Medicine. Alright, so if you get poison or anything, you can come back to her. One thing that's interesting is like it does have sort of a fatigue system whereby, yeah, this is the rules. So if you want to learn the rules of the school, whereby if you're playing for a while, you kind of get hungry, and if you get hungry, you have to, if you get hungry, you have to eat something in order for you to, let's go ahead and go that guy. In order for you to like regain and stop losing HP, because you lose HP every so often when you're hungry. And then the food, you can buy it or people make it, and the food looks like this, like steamed bread, for example. So it doesn't actually regenerate, or recovers 220 nutrition is what it's called. And then these are like drugs essentially you can take. Recovers 92 HP, lasting every 2 seconds. So if you need quick HP regeneration, you can take those. There's a variety of them. Got some herbs to increase its conversion experience. So this allows you to convert the experience into cultivation points a lot faster. Gonna run over here real quick. See if we can go somewhere. Too late for the invitation. There aren't any players in the challenge. See if we can set this up real quickly. See if we can do a challenge arena here. Do this. Set up arena. Arena name Spunkify. What is this? Oh, tools usage. No. Can I confirm? Can I open this? Oh. So yeah, still a lot of stuff I'm not quite sure on exactly how it works. Some of the stuff you do have to be in certain areas in order for it to work. So you have to travel to that in order for you to start it up. If you don't want to, if you want to chat, you guys can go to the forums and chat. MMOBomb.com/forums. Always a great place to chat if you want to. But there's no like live chat, I guess you could say. I guess you can come here maybe. Is there any fall damage? I'll see if I can actually jump off of something really high and take damage. I haven't seen any yet. I haven't seen, you know, anything about. Let's see if I can take a coach somewhere. So these are the areas I can take coach currently. So I can go all the way down there to the very end, the Bailing Bellows, point of destination, Fogboom Valley. All right, so let's go ahead and go there. That sounds interesting. So the trip will begin, and you see everybody on here, different people, individuals. I can jump out of this at any time just by hitting the key down here, which is kind of nice because, you know, you don't have to, like, you're not stuck on here if you don't want to. And these people actually talk, I believe, inside of here. They kind of like converse and act like a real sort of carriage. All right. What is the worst part of the game so far? I'd have to say it doesn't convey to players very well what to do after a certain point. It kind of tells you like, hey, you can do this stuff, here's how to do this stuff, but it doesn't tell you how often you should do that stuff, or should you just be doing that stuff, or where do you go after certain, like, the flow is nice for a certain amount, and then it just kind of stops. Like, the flow just stops out of nowhere. And you just kind of it's up to you to kind of figure out where exactly to pick up on that flow. And I mean, to some extent, you know, people are like the open worldness of it, where you just go over and do whatever, since it's skill based, not necessarily level based. But for players, I mean, I don't mind that, but I think there should be a little bit more direction as far as like, hey, you can go over here and there are these quests you can do, or hey, this just started, you know, join up. And there are to some extent things in place for that. For example, when these things start up, if they're anything like a group event, it does actually tell you that a group event has begun and give you the option, I think, to join it, which is not bad. But like I said before, a lot of the quests that are restricted, or not restricted rather, but require offline players from enemy factions to be around, a little bit hard to do on your own when no one's actually around to do it. So, I mean, it's kind of like this, they just have to be around, you know, the world is alive and breathing. If no one's around, then no one's around kind of thing, you know? So you do have to think about that. But the game, the actual game itself, does look extremely gorgeous. I like the water, the colors are very vibrant, and for the most part, the textures are decent. I think some of the textures are a little bit more bland stuff. There's a guy I wanted to pick up a quest from, but never mind. Some of the textures for like the ground, where there's not like, you know, foliage or anything, a little bit bland because they're kind of repetitive. But the game looks great. Yeah, it is on. This is highest of everything. This is the highest graphic settings for everything, and it's running pretty good. It runs about when I'm streaming, it's running about 30 frames per second. When I'm not streaming, it runs about 60. You know, it caps out at 60 frames per second essentially. So it plays very nicely, and I can suspect that this would be pretty easy to play on older systems as well, as long as players, you know, turn down the settings. I know you can't avoid tiling textures, but we're talking about like a square footage of tiling of like 2 feet, you know, 2 by 2 feet for some of these things. I'll see if I can show you guys. You'll probably see it on the beach a little bit. It's not as apparent on like grass textures, but on dirt textures it's pretty apparent. Will I be playing the game after open beta? It depends. It honestly depends on if I can figure out the game any better. Like right now, I'm having a hard time. I like the freedom given in the game, but I feel like there's a lot that is really confusing and hard for new players to grasp. Alright, did I finally actually get that? Yes! I got that on time. Alright. So this was like a challenge, I think, that was given out. Went ahead and joined it. I think this is a PvP challenge, and these just come at random. So this is a contested arena area. You have 10 seconds to prepare the fight. The fight will begin when time runs out. So there's a lot of players here. Maybe this is the actual zone. Alright, so who am I going to be fighting here? Who am I fighting? Oh, I'm fighting that guy. Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, no. Come on, stop. There we go. Now I can actually attack. Come here. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm probably going to be terrible at this because I don't even know how to PvP at all. I'm going to die. Alright, come on. Special ability, something? Nah. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue with the revenge match. Yeah, so I think this, yeah, what I was trying before, although I don't know why. See how I can't like confirm or anything like that? I don't know how that works. Anyways. So I died horrifically there. And it's a little bit hard. There wasn't a lot of feedback for that. But yeah, I didn't even know where that guy was for half the time. He was across the screen when he started the fight. It looks like a large city though, Chengyun City. Let's go ahead and jump in this. Maybe we can find some things to do in here. These guys seem to be all around here, which is pretty nice. So like this guy right here, the Bloody Spider Servant, he's offline right now. So he's just a servant in this area. He's just going to be standing here for a little bit. Oh, now he's online, I think. I don't know. Blue, I think blue name usually indicates that they're offline. I've seen in the past. Maybe his character's just moving, or maybe he's actually here. I don't know. I may be giving you guys the wrong information, but that's how I thought it was going to come. If you hover over people, you can see like where they're from. Like that guy's from Tengaman. This guy over here is, if I hover over him, he's from Royal Guard. And when I hover over them, it kind of tells me like what their power level is essentially. So he's like lacking understanding, basically meaning he's a lower level. He doesn't have everything unlocked, etc. Let's see. Nowadays, there are many guilds will in. Sorry. So certain things need guild access in order for you to do. Go ahead and scroll on here. What is this guy? What is on this guy's head? I'm gonna register and talk about the Left of Death challenge. Sure. So I reserved myself an arena. Oh no! Lua error. Hopefully that doesn't break the stream. I think it looks okay. Alright, so let's come back. Ah, so I'm in a life or death arena. But who am I fighting? Initiator's name. Let's see here. Oh, these are all the enemies in the area. These are my enemies. So these enemies are people who I've actually fought. That I can actually send out requests, which is pretty cool. So when you get killed by someone, you can have the option to make them an enemy. And when you make them an enemy, you can, arena challenge them essentially. See if we can challenge another person as well. So it actually had like a worldwide emote that said, hey, Spunkify challenge someone to a life or death thing. So it's kind of like calling them out, I guess you could say. I want to fight to life or death against someone, maybe. And you fight in this large stadium. Maybe nobody will come. I don't know. There's a minute. Alright, there we go. Oh, he refused the fight, so I just won it because he outright just refused it. Alright. So, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, where when you try to do these things that do involve other players, it's kind of catch-22 because you essentially got to free money. Whatever. Because you essentially have to, you know, find the players interested in doing stuff. That's pretty far. So let's see. Let's go ahead and just come over here and go back to the main area. I mean, I feel like I tried to do a lot of research on this game before the stream, like where to do things and what's the natural progression, etc. And honestly, right now, there's just not a lot of information out as far as how you're supposed to progress in this game, so I can't really give my full judgment on the game right now. So there's a quest right here. Because Grandma's dying. Hey, Grandma. That doesn't look like Grandma. Your face looks like you're young. How could you be a grandma? Man, why are you running away? So that's what I'm talking about. They just run away to talk to people. So I'll go ahead and deliver that thing. Sure, why not? So I just go ahead and talk to this person, and then I'll go ahead and deliver that. I'm famished though. See, now I'm hungry. Now I have to eat. So if I don't eat, I'll begin to, as you can see, take small amounts of damage consistently. Yeah, you can challenge other schools and other guilds. They have whole systems set up for PvP between guilds and whatnot. Like I said, this is a very PvP-focused MMO. That is the main way that you're going to be progressing through the game, is doing PvP stuff. There is PvE elements to it, but overall, from the looks of it, is very much a PvP style of MMO, which is fine for some people. You know, they don't mind that at all. Let me go ahead and eat real quick, so I don't actually starve. Alright. Now that I've eaten, as you can see, no more debuff. And I'm almost done. 32 minutes remain on my secondary skill. Do I have mail? I do have mail. What is this? I got myself a treasure, so I'm going to withdraw that. Check that out. What do we got here? Where'd that item go that I picked up? There's the treasure. So I'm going to open this up, see what's inside. I got some more food, I think. Another horse. A pill, which get 10,000 Oh man, 10,000 cultivation points. Pretty good. And this increases my experience conversion by 150%. I'm not really sure if this is something that you're going to get live, or if they're just giving this away to beta players. I'm assuming it's just for beta players, just to kind of speed up, since there's only 5 days that you actually get. By the way, this is my favorite song so far listening. I'll just let you guys listen to it. Why don't we go ahead and jump on some buildings real quick for funsies. So yeah, there can be fights in the air and whatnot. You even get experience for like jumping through the air and doing like tricks in the air in front of people and stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm supposed to be able to hold. Okay, yeah. If I hold shift, that's how it is. If I hold shift, I'll run up walls, which is pretty cool. So I can do like run this wall, like get it close to it. Oh, I'm out of air points. That's right, I can't. All right, so let's keep progressing right now. Getting close. Things like gamecocks. Oh man, did he die? They fight each other. Can I kill you? That'd be awesome. So yeah, there's a lot of like, I mean, if I even like walk through this crowd, they'll all like bump out of the way and stuff. The world does feel alive. They've done a lot of work to ensure that the game feels like an open, living, breathing world. It's just all about whether or not they can populate it with the people needed. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Stepped on the guy's toes. I like how my horses came out the wall. Alright. Another quest I'll pick up real quick. And I can defeat the Hangfang Blade Man, which is actually right over here. Let's go ahead and do that before we close out of here. You want me to take fall damage? Let me see if I can find something that's high enough to go up. Let's see if I can go up that building up there, alright? And then I'll try to jump off of it so you can see if there's fall damage or not. But as you can see, like, there's different quests you can do. It's all a matter of like being able to find the quests. And there's like a, they call them scenes, so there's like a, is it? Okay, I think it's shift, yeah. Come on. Come on, roll up the window. There we go. So there we go. Let's go up here. Whoop! Alright, let's come over here real quick. It'll tell you when like outlaws or convicts come into your area, so you can go try to like chase them if you want. I already have a platoon on PlanetSide 2. It's called VX9. You can check us at vx9.com. Alright, come on here. So this is another thing I'm talking about. Like, sometimes it works and sometimes I can't run up walls. I mean, maybe. Okay, there we go. Got that one work. Alright, so now I'm essentially at the highest point, so you guys can see all this area. I mean, there is, I guess, a mountain over there. Alright. Let's go. I actually own Chivalry Medieval Warfare. I might do that some other time. Alright. So let's go ahead and jump off here and see if we take fall damage, right? So we're going to go ahead and jump down all the way. BAM! Died! Just like that. You saw my character, like, flail his arms. He did indeed die. And I can call for assistance if someone wants to come like revive me, but I'm pretty sure no one's gonna come do that because they're all scumbags. So I don't want to bid on anything. Let's go ahead and recover nearby. Call for assistance. Longman Pass has been captured, which I think means that I can't actually go to where I normally can because someone captured that NPC. It's pretty interesting. I think that's what it means. So all these people here in my school are actually talking about going to the waterfall, which is an area my school benefits from doing its meditation in front of waterfalls, so it actually increases the experience and the speed that you do it. Dead. Heavily wounded, but still. Alright, maybe I can recover now. Can I? Somebody let me up. I'm dead. Because of that guy's not there, I'm just kind of like perpetually dead here now. Can I teleport? Yeah, can I teleport dead? No, I can't use it in this status. No. Alright. Well, I appear to be dead right now. Unless another player wants to come, like, revive me, maybe. So yeah, why don't we just go ahead and end it here for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this other BombLive episode, and let us know, of course, on the forums as well as on YouTube once this goes up, what games you guys would like to see us do our BombLive episodes for. in the future, and leave some feedback. We always love that. But otherwise, this has been Spunkify for BombLive and MMOBomb.com, and we will see you guys next time. Spunkify out. Later, guys.